Good evening, Who Dat Nation. Welcome to our first draft segment for the 2021 draft. Before I get started, I hope you guys are having a great night. I'm your host, CB, and I'm here with the team and one guest. I'm here with WD. WD, how you doing, fam?
Oh man, I'm doing great. And yeah, we are at the favorite part of the off season where we talk about some good ass linebackers that the Saints probably won't draft.
And we have with us tonight a guest. I call him a draft analyst. You know, you guys check him out on Twitter. You know, he definitely be putting in work with analyzing these draft picks. He goes by Jake White. Jake, how you doing tonight, fam?
Good, man. Ready to talk about these linebackers. We got quite a bit of them that could look good in the Saints uniform. Help out, that's for sure.
We are going to give our 5 linebackers that we think will be sitting at 28. Honorable mentions, Michael Parsons. It's obvious we would all love him, but it's more than likely he won't be there at 28. You know, that's a top 10 pick. So we're going to start off with the pick that I want is Xavien Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa. His height, he's 6'3", 260 pounds. To me, he looks like a DN playing linebacker. He hadn't had a pro day yet, but last year he ran a 40. I believe he was at the school before he got here, and he ran a 4.6. So, you know, I can see that his agility, you know, he don't have the greatest agility, but, you know, he can get up to speed very quick. So that's a good thing.
Man, he can rush the passer, he can blitz, he can cover. He can definitely read quarterback's eyes really well. Big and move, big frame, a playmaker. I would say that sometimes he doesn't get off the blocks a lot, but I mean, he makes up for it because he always comes back into the play. He's not going to change directions due to his big size. I do say that he can be more aggressive. He's definitely athletic. Comparisons, I would say that he's more like a Dante Hightower or Vander for the Cowboys. I guess you can add some more names there like KJ Wright, Kyle Van Noy. I know teams are going to view him to play maybe Sam, Will, you name it. I guess he's versatile. He can play at maybe any linebacker position. As far as the Saints go, I think they will use him as a will.
Versatility definitely comes to mind. His football IQ is high too. I remember watching a couple of Thursday and Friday night games, and that dude definitely stood out. He had one interception at the end of the game. He had some sixes and stuff. He's always all around the ball. He does pretty well against the run, but like who that was saying too, sometimes he has trouble getting off blocks sometimes, but that dude, he's just a big beast, man. He won Nagurski Award for the best defender in the nation. He's a big rodeo guy. I remember him talking about that on TV the one time. He would be huge because, I mean, we could use him at will, and then we could have him blitz too. And with him and DeMario, mess with offenses like Matt Ryan, not knowing who's going to blitz, who's not, who's going to drop in coverage. Just his versatility alone would be nice for the Saints defense, especially with our linebacker core as it is now.
Absolutely. And he might not be there. With the team seeing how athletic and big he is, he's an athletic freak, man. So I can definitely see a team snatching him up right before the Saints draft.
His numbers, he had 54 tackles, 11 and a half tackles for loss, had 4 sacks and 4 interceptions. Those 4 interceptions to me stand out. His awareness is definitely there. I know Tulsa, that's not, he's not playing no Bama, LSU, and Auburn. He's not playing no, head honchos week in and out. But his eyes is very good. He can read the quarterback very good. But I was reading something, an undisclosed scout came out and said that the guy have some personality issues. Not far as a trouble player, but he was saying that his personality didn't fit well with the team. Like he kind of self-centered type guy. I mean, I'm not sure if it's true or not. That plays a part. I don't think that'll hurt his draft stock, but you definitely gotta have that camaraderie with the team. Yeah, he would be a perfect pick for us because Davenport. I mean, I believe Davenport gonna produce more numbers than 2 sacks. That's another topic, but it may come to a point where we need some additional, pass rushing, some players going to the quarterback. And, if he's a hell of a blitzer, that'll help us a lot. So, Jaymon Collins, it's going to be tough for him to get to 28, but if he do, it Sean them has no choice but to go grab this guy. So
we hope if he's there, they take him. I thought they'd take Queen last year. What was it? The 1 year thought we'd get Eric Kendricks over Anthony. Hopefully they take Collins.
Oh, the next guy, Mr. Nick Bolton. He was the linebacker for the Mississippi squad. Just to read some numbers: 8 tackles for loss, 2 sacks.
He had 95 tackles
with no picks. But he also had a pro day. His 40 time was a 4.6. His vertical was 32 inches. The 20-yard shuttle ran a 4.5 in that. It's very possible he could be sitting there at 28. It looked like the Steelers was showing high interest in him. They sent out a lot of their scouts. I think Mike Tomlin showed up for him as well. So, he drawn a lot of interest for them. They pick him before us, but just to, analyze this guy. The first thing that stands out is his ability to stop the run. That's definitely what we need. We won't have Quan there. It's obviously, even if we sign him back, it's going to be late on in the season when he going to play. So that void is empty. Him being able to stop the run. You've seen what Quan can do. I want to see that type of potential with this guy. And this is the thing that stood out to him stopping the run. Zone coverage, that was his specialty. But the thing about it, Dennis plays more man. His man coverage was pretty good, but he stood out in zone coverage. He a great zone coverage linebacker. So, we'll see how that works. And this guy young.
This is not to say that he's the best linebacker in the draft, but I'm just saying he's my favorite linebacker. And y'all probably know why. He's physical, he's aggressive, very explosive, in cover, sure tackler, but he would deliver the boom. Basically, to me, this is like another DeMario. I would say he would be the Saints version of Deion Jones. My only negative with him is he could definitely be over aggressive. That can get fixed. But this guy, bro, I would love to have him on the squad. But like you said, man, I think he's a great fit for the Steelers because that Steelers style at linebacker, man. He's definitely like one of those physical linebackers.
I kind of figured would like him. I figured he'd like him just because he lays the wood. The thing that stood out with me is he just processes things quick and real well. He hits the hole. He's not afraid to take on guards. I remember in the Alabama game, just took off, read the play right, undercut our right guard, and just hitting out your head and legs in the backfield. I know he led the SEC in defensive stops the last 2 years. Like you were saying, CB, he's all right man coverage, but definitely great in zone coverage, man. We drafted him. I want him to play middle linebacker and let DeMario play Will. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Steelers linebacker, Devin Bush. I know you say he ran a 4.6. He plays faster than that, but he's not as fast as Devin Bush, but he definitely reminds me of him. He just likes to light people up. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind him at 28. That'd be him and DeMario. That would be a nice tag team right there.
Man, he flies off the screen. Just like DeMario. So,
he ain't afraid of nothing. If it's a big old boy of hitting, knocking down.
Another reason we would probably have to move him to Mike because he's kind of stiff. That's why his zone he stood out more in zone coverage than man coverage. And his one-on-one tackle like out in open space that can improve. If anything negative, that was a negative I took from it. He's not the best open space tackler, but you put him at the Mike and have real DeMario or the Will, I think that'll work out real good. We hope to see you there at 28, fam. Okay, so next up will be Mr. Jaymon Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky. Just to give you some numbers, 6'4", 224 pounds. He had 102 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, and 3 interceptions. When I done my scout on him, that stood out was his inexperience. He hasn't played the position long enough. Some may think, that he needs more time to develop, kind of like a Davenport situation, where he just blew up but he wasn't as experienced. Kind of like a work in progress type of linebacker. I believe he definitely will be there at 28. Now, if Sean M wants to take that chance and bring in a linebacker to develop, I don't think we need to do that at the situation we're in. Let's get a linebacker that, that's eating right now. He eating too, but that's been doing it. My takeaway, but his numbers, man, he definitely can, fly around. He don't have the typical linebacker size, 200 pounds.
He's definitely a D2 guy. Like, I wouldn't be ecstatic if Saints drafted him in the first round. He's definitely far from the biggest linebacker. And that being said, that he'll probably have a little bit of trouble in the run defense and probably not getting through traffic like you want him to. But he has length. He's very rangy, very athletic. Can find the ball, physical at the point of attack. He can close, but as far as him getting through traffic to get to the ball carrier at times, is not always there, and that could definitely be because of his size.
Yeah, I like the fit with us, but not at 28. If we got him in the second round, I'd be pumped. But like you said, CB, only 1 year really. He'll need development time and all that and everything, but like who that was saying, long, rangy, athletic. I think he'll be a solid will linebacker. And sometimes though, I don't know if it's because he ain't played and ain't got experience. Sometimes he's hesitant. It looks like he reads it right and then kind of takes that false step one time, and then by that time the guards already got on him, especially in the run game. He had a good game against Tennessee. He shows flashes. I'd like him to put on about 10 or 15 pounds though. Make him like, if he's 240, can keep the speed, that'd be nice.
And the negative that I seen, he don't drop his pads when he's hitting, so that will definitely keep you short. He was successful with it, in college, but when you get to the next level, that's gonna be getting you drugged. So he definitely had to work on his pad level. He hits high, at times, but he was able to get by with it in college. In the league, that's not gonna fly. So you're gonna have to do that, especially at that size. I would say the will, but yeah, he definitely got to put on some pounds. CGJ can kind of play like a linebacker. I don't think we need two guys that's gonna be operating in the box around that size. Our linebackers both need to, have that size on them so they can be good in the, stopping the run. But other than that, man, he definitely shows some potential. We're gonna go to Jake's favorite school, the LSU Tigers.
Come on now. Come on now.
We got Mr. Jabril Cost. As you guys know who that nation, most of y'all know him. 6'3", 233 pounds. Stats, he had 58 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, a sack, and 3 interceptions. As far as like his good, this was the second favorite guy out of these 5 that I seen far as like good tape. First off, LSU, they run a 4-2-5, so he's used to playing in that scheme. But yeah, as far as him being able to fly around and, make tackles, he's definitely, good at that. But the negatives that I took away is he take poor angles. And I was starting to see some, far as the tackling, some early Marcus Williams type tackles, taking poor angles, not breaking down on ball carriers so he can, get a good wrap up and tackle. As a linebacker, you have to do that. But I think he was able to get by with his versatility. That was my biggest positive, his versatility. Be able to, play in the box. He was able to cover, man cover, zone cover, trying to tackle a guy. He was taking poor angles at the ball carrier. He gotta work on that. Focus on that area. 233 pounds, that's a weak linebacker size. I'm not gonna say that's the typical linebacker size, but I think it'll work with us.
He's definitely a coverage linebacker. He's like a Corey Littleton. I guess you can say like a Zach Cunningham too. He's definitely better in coverage than he is playing close to the line of scrimmage. He can run with slot receivers, and he can run with tight ends as well. And in fact, he can contain tight ends pretty well. I would say probably the better tight ends in the league. Coming in, I think he can run with a George Kittle or Travis Kelce. As far as his cons, I'm gonna say that he doesn't really get off the block well enough and don't get through traffic good enough. But I mean, I would say he's okay at it, not the best. His closing speed is really good. He's good in space, and he can definitely change direction.
Mr. LSU guy Jake, what's your thoughts on Jabril Cost?
He sucks. He can go to hell. Now, Yeah, I'd agree with y'all coverage. Who that said it kind of reminds me of Zach Cunningham. I'd say that's a great comp for him. Just the run, sometimes he just doesn't do very well against the run, really. I remember Senior Bowl. I remember him talking good about his coverage in Senior Bowl too. All the coaches were happy with that and everything. Thought he played well at North Dakota State for, I think he went there 2 years, 3 years, and then transferred to LSU. Yeah, I wouldn't want him in the first round, but second or third, I'd definitely take him. Be great against Gronk and all of them, and Hayden Hurst. He could definitely hang with Hayden Hurst. We could definitely use his coverage skills and then just work on his run defense.
Okay, so we're going to get to our last guy, linebacker out of North Carolina, Mr. Chad Surratt. He's 6'2", 225. Brandon Marshall, he hosted a pro day where some guys went down there to Florida. He haven't had his official school pro day yet, but at Brandon Marshall's pro day, he had some numbers. So his 40 time at Brandon Marshall's pro day, he ran a 4.64 and his bench press was 27 times. Now, he didn't have any other numbers. They said he stood out in the drills. He had 91 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 1 pick, and 1 forced fumble. Looking at him on tape, I'm staying in the North Carolina area, so I done seen a few games. But what stood out to me was his sideline to sideline speed. I've been saying that about Marcus Williams a few times. As far as him being sideline to sideline, this guy definitely fits that void. When you had his sideline to sideline speed, it can definitely help out you showing up to a play or you not getting burnt. He'll be able to run with these shifty running backs. He'd be able to help out on that. As far as his experience at linebacker, he started out at UNC playing quarterback. I see him as a possible, most likely day 2 guy. It just depends on how many linebackers gets taken and how big of a need is linebacker for us.
Yeah, he's definitely a pursuit style type of linebacker. He could use a veteran next to him, DeMario. That's perfect. Plays fast, great closing speed. He can blitz, and like you said, CB, he plays sideline to sideline.
He's gonna be like we were talking about Marcus Davenport. Definitely development, maybe 2 years. I don't know how well he's gonna be just because he was a quarterback, like you said, CB. Playing besides DeMario would definitely help, but I see him take them false steps, and sometimes he misreads plays, and he's just hitting wrong gaps and stuff. But that's because he's been playing quarterback and everything. He's still got to get used to the linebacker. But when he flashes, though, I got him as a high ceiling, that's for sure. Really athletic, like you said, can run sideline to sideline. If he's there, I'd take him in the 3rd round probably if he's there.
Kind of on the developmental side, he's more developed than Jaymon Davis, as far as having experience. He already 24, 25. I think he's going to be 25 before the season starts. So if he's going to be 25 and then, you need time to developmental period, you're going to be hitting, 27, maybe 28, before we may be able to see, his true potential in the NFL, and that's kind of up there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a late start. These other guys, they 20, 21, 22. So, if they, for Jaymon Davis, get 2 years to develop, he's going to be 24, on the scene ready. So, all right, Who Dat Nation? Well, that will wrap up our linebacker segment. And once again, we know about Michael Parsons and, Jeremiah, even Dylan Moses, and then the linebacker from Texas. There's a few other linebackers, but this is guys that we think will be sitting here at 28. So, not necessarily saying we want to pick this guy over some corners and stuff. No, we're not doing that. This is linebackers we think going to be sitting there at 28. And then on the next segment, we will get into another position group of that position group that we think be sitting there at 28. And by saying that, we will be doing the cornerback position next. So we hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Linebackers, talking some draft. Just rolling up, fellas.
Well, I would say I wouldn't mind us double dipping at the linebacker position, to be honest with you. Grab one in the 1st and then grab someone like Dylan Moses in the 3rd. Good old Alabama boy on defense. That'd be nice.
Good luck with that.
All right, Who Dat Nation? Well, once again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow the page if you haven't. This is the WDN Chatline podcast, and we are out. Who that?
For life.